Hola, it is I, the one and the only. And I am, surprise, surprise, showing off a different game. Very different. Yeah. No killers, no survivors, no generators needing to be repaired. No random pumpkins in the corner that needs to be smashed because they're rotten. Just a princess in a dungeon of some sort. And we're gonna figure this out. So, with this game, Slay the Princess, I honestly, funny enough, I've played it when it came out, or played a bits of it when it came out on PC for Steam. And I honestly really enjoyed it. And I wanted to share that experience, but I had no, anyways, I had, I had no idea of how to like go about streaming on a laptop. So now that it's on PC and I saw it in my PlayStation Store, I was like, I have to play it and I have to stream it right now. It came out yesterday, and I was like, immediately now, absolutely right now. This game, wow, simple yet effective. Simple, but a lot of care was put into creating it. And there's something that's underneath the Slay the Princess. It says Slay the Princess, the pristine cut. I'm curious, what does that mean? What does that entail? So come along with me and let us enjoy the possibility of what this game has in store for all of us. You, me, your cat, your dog, your mom, I don't know. Whoever's around you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for waiting. Now we can go and start to play this new game. I don't have anything loaded because I haven't. So, The Hero and the Princess, Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Already loving the narrator's voice. They picked a really good person to provide the dialogue in this game.
You're here to slay her.
Oh.
If you don't,
like slay?
It will be the end of
or
the
like,
world.
If you don't... Okay. Explore the end of the world? What are you talking about exactly? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Exactly. I would do it too, like I'm isolated, people are already chastising me, like why else, I don't have any, this villain origin story right here. Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Morally it's just bad to kill anybody, but like a princess, you'd automatically assume that they're a good person, right? So what would cause you to want to end their life type? Can't someone else do it? Absolutely. Why does it have to be me? Maybe because I'm the hero. But it's like, if I'm the hero, I'm supposed to be rescuing her, right? Why am I slaying her? It's not even the cute, like, slay. It's the... Okay, forget it. I'm not doing this. That's understandable, boundaries. Set them strong. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Very nihilist. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? I'd hope. Isn't that what usually happens in an adventure, RPG, exploring type of game? Like, there's some sort of bounty, right? Gold? That says, oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet. I've always wanted to off a what? Off a monarch. I'm weak. So I'm not picking that one. Maybe not for now. And then silently continues to the just no comment. Just mute. Turn around and leave. So I'm gonna go with, again, like, what do you mean by the end of the world?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But she's literally in a cabin by herself. What is she gonna do in that cabin by herself that's gonna raise the... Yeah, but how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world? Exactly what I... Such great analytical skills, If you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not gonna kill her. Do you have any evidence to back this up? Yes, this is given common sense. Have you considered that maybe the only reason that she... Oh, already... Okay, I'm gonna go with one of these three options. Yeah, I think... Because it's either one or two, or even three. Actually, I like all three of these answers. The first three. I'm gonna go with this one though.
It's
a little bit in the middle.
She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it.
That don't make no sense. Like, this man is literally walking me around in circles. So she's not dangerous. She's just a princess. But the danger comes if she gets out. So she is dangerous. That's very... Because she could still be a princess and be dangerous. But it's like, oh, she won't cause any issues as long as she's in there. But she's still an issue. You know what okay, what happens if she gets out then? I want specifics, period. This is literally... Do you have any evidence to back this up? Have you considered that... Oh, already... Yes, I want that. I'm gonna do this one.
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
But you're just giving me like straight up like go here, kill her. Why? I want to know the why. Yes, you're giving me a task, but I want to understand the why there's gonna be the blood of a princess on my hands. Like I'm gonna be like again ending a monarch for what reason? And you're saying that she's not dangerous in the cabin, so why must I kill her in the cabin? Oh, so she doesn't go out and then causes. Uh, I still want the specifics exactly. Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Exactly. Uh, I do. It's like, what happens if she gets out then? I want specifics.
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Interesting. Okay. Fill in the blanks. But the specifics itself doesn't make me feel like I need to go against my own nature. It kind of makes me feel more inclined to completing the task that he's offering me to like get done with. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make me think, "Oh, you letting me know more information is going to cause me to just be like, "Nah, I don't want to Nah, I don't want to do that to her." This information knowing that she's literally in everyone's ears, a type of persuasion, like a siren song. If she says fall, they'll say how far. That I get. Okay, have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because I like
While
that.
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
I like giving attitude because it's like you're.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Okay. I suppose.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
I suppose.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Yeah, I like that one. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her. And if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If
What?
you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds very different from when I last, or maybe I'm tripping. I don't think she sounds the same. She sounds very, very different, very like sultry. Like it's a lot more harsh in the ears than soft and like dough. Like I don't trust it.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
So what are y'all's thoughts? Because I got the option hi from what she said. Just checking in on you is given like a dad, like, hey, sweetheart, are you doing okay in there? Do you need any assistance? You know, it's giving compassion. I don't think I want to be given compassion if this phrase that the narrator is telling me is don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Mm-mm. And it's like, hey, I think I'm here to kill you. That's too casual. It's given, here's your appointment. Let's go before we become behind on our schedule. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out which one I would pick. Continue down the stairs. I know I'm not gonna not say something because I have to say something. You know, I gotta put a little remark here or there. Hi is kind of crazy. Just checking on you, or ah. Now that I think just checking in on you. Not just checking in on you is crazy. It's given very casual. So, but this is also it's like casual 1, 2, and 3. Like it progressively gets to absurdity. Hmm. Uh,
Don't be a stranger. It's
oh.
been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Yeah, she sounds different. Why does it sound like she's trying to like? I don't like this. This is giving dating simulator. I don't like this. Uh.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of
What
the
happened to the other
basement.
chain? Why is the other chain not there?
She's so coldly beautiful.
Coldly beautiful is
Is she
crazy.
really a threat to the world?
Hmm.
Focus on the task at hand.
Which
And
is
there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
uh. What? No way. Why would I even think? Why would you even think that? Crazy work. Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. Nah, nah. Haven't decided yet. That's crazy. That's I'm still thinking about it. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Depends on what you do. I'm here to talk. Ooh, that is not a good idea. I'm just. I'm here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat.
Yeah. Uh.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
That's fair. Okay, I'll drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands
I know, crazy.
and drops to
I'll
the
drop
floor
it.
with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Talk. Stop. You're scaring me.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
A relationship is crazy. Yeah. It's a pretty awkward. A relationship. Are you coming on me? Nah, I'm probably gonna pick that one. Because I'm like, what is going on? How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There are people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? It's crazy. What do you have to say about that? It's crazy word. What's your name? How long have you been down here? I want to click this one.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
I don't know. Yeah. That word is kind of. How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to. Okay. What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you. Okay, we've talked enough. It's crazy. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Okay. Anyways.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Princess of what? Royal Highness of what? Like, who are you? Like, it's given generic. Very, as he says, lack of detail. I'm not convinced.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone.
That's very...
I like the world, I think.
I don't trust that look in her eye.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
Good question.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall?
Good question.
Have they told you why I'm allegedly so...
dangerous? No. I don't like how she's looking at me, guys. She's giving me the crazy eyes. No, but if I'm honest, if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them. Damn. What are you going to do if I let you out of here? I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No, but I'm sure they have the reasons for keeping that information secret from me.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
What if they're bad reasons, though? If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you?
Valid.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave.
To do what?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
But I don't know you.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
They kind of did, low-key.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you, either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
What the heck is going on?
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
I don't know.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Too long.
Yeah, I'm done talking to
Oh,
her.
have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Slay the princess! That's crazy. Examine the chains, keep her locked away. There isn't really... there isn't a right or wrong choice. It's more of a what kind of ending are you trying to see type of deal. I just want to see what it's like being just
You have to be kidding me.
trying to be the softer route, you know, trying to help her type.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Dang, okay, there. He's a little angry at me.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Nice.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
Who is this everyone? Like,
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
cut me out. What is...
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
demonic?
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Not the control.
Watch me.
Dang. Dang. I wonder if it's like, if I pick a different one, would it be like a different type of... You know what I mean? Like, I'll still slay her, but it'll be like...
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
I don't like this. Where's my
You're doing
free...
your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Oh, not the prisoner. Hmm?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end you're here to slay her.
I'm getting a terrible sense of
deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Really?
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right?
Oh.
It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large?
I don't know what
I
you mean
told you
by
about
that.
the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Don't understand. I need a visual representation.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think what a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin? For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts. Just be quick about it. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front.
Come on now. Come on now. What is that? Does that even look like anything I would... Mm-mm.
Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side. You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because... Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Yeah, it looks very different. Looks very, dungeon-esque.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What is a mirror, though?
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Oh.
But there was a mirror a second ago.
Hmm.
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
That's weird. What the heck?
Very different.
Very different indeed. It's given like I need to kill this girl. Versus before.
Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own?
I
Maybe
don't
it's a
know.
different cabin entirely.
Maybe.
Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Well, I will. She. Absolutely. Okay.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's go, guys.
The door to the basement
Oh, and
creaks
there's.
open,
Look at that.
revealing
There's
an
torches.
old stone staircase.
It's lit.
A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Oh. But it looks better than the first time we came down here. Because this actually looks like intentional. But it does give like there's a demon or a monster in the basement.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I think that's the same phrasing that she said last time too.
Does she remember us? You walk down the
Dang.
stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she
Are
moves.
we all seeing what we're...
The chains binding both her
Goodness
wrists to the
gracious.
far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here.
Yeah, that's literally...
Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall?
Yeah.
Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Yeah.
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But those other two chains weren't.
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Nah, I think I'm just gonna slay her. I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here. Yeah. I don't know, cause I'm a slayer. Let's see how that
Without
goes.
a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a leap.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
Oh.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her, do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeps.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again. Even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here. Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward?
Oh.
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Huh?
Like hell it is. This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of eternity. Your reward, like I just told you. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win. That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. He's just saying things. The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense.
You really don't want to be happy, do you?
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you. You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You're on a path in the... See?
What
that
in the
wasn't so
world?
bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place. There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
What in the world?
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. The last time we were here, you were in full-blown denial about the possibility of us restarting. What changed? Have you just been pretending to forget? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
Oh, so he's also the same.
We were bored. There were still answers that we needed to find.
Absolutely not.
It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
Girl.
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die.
What do you mean by that?
And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead.
It's raining. It wasn't raining last time or the time before that. The whole path is different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No. Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse. She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens. We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring. Sure, we've already seen what happens if we slay her. We might as well explore our surroundings, get a lay of the land. Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing over again.
Touche.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up at the cabin, but everything is getting fuzzy.
Oh. What in the trip?
What's going on? Where are we? I don't know. But it feels like home. Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothingness. It is quiet. There is a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. Ew. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremists find your consciousness wrapping themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance, fingers drag, claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration, this vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. It's not. Oh. Denial.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here.
You can skip previous scene dialogue by hitting R1 on the control. Oh, perfect. Perfect.
That's the spirit.
I'm a speedrun it.
Up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dun, dun.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust.
Oh, already.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reason. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward. Your grip on.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around. You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
What does she mean by that? Let me know.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Adversary? Come on now.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill. A warning. But she will lie. Lie. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal. Let's... The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
She sounds delighted, actually. She don't even sound...
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
Interesting.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Oh.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes.
Oh. I'm scared.
I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Mommy, please pick me up. Pick me up, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on here. This is terrifying. This is all different than last time. But last time definitely happened. I want to say that so bad.
What's that? Oh, that whole deja vu situation. Yes, it does seem like you and the princess remember each other, so let's say for a moment that I do believe you.
Oh, okay.
For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time.
Okay. Are you
Are you
okay?
okay?
Not for real. Are you well? Why are you talking to
Of
me like
course
that?
I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Oh. Back first.
You look exactly the same.
That is weird. Why is that?
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done.
Oh, okay.
Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Not whale.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
What in the world? A giant demon lady, but
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. She's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor.
Do you hear that? That's the heavens.
You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point?
Huh?
So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. Overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your scalp.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter.
Jesus.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, that was graphic.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
Damn.
So what? You'd have us cower in a corner?
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You... It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament.
No last advice for us? No words of warning?
From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind.
I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis.
Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it. Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. And let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement.
I don't really see no door.
Mirror
No door.
or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter.
I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst
What the
comes to
freak?
worst, we can smash it.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it.
This really is just like last time.
It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that. That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Those chains were nothing to her last time.
Exactly. She really pistol whipped.
Nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me.
Okay.
You've nowhere to go but down. You
the
start the
world?
difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember every crack and crevice. You'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body.
No.
I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
I really don't like the sound of this.
I don't either.
It's the only way we live.
How do you know that?
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do.
I don't think I want this. I
So
think.
go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Help. Let's talk about. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit first. We could always fight when you're done. When we're done, but I have questions. I want to know what happened after you killed me. Ooh, that is a good.
We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of you standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have. You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Oh. Okay, no consent.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes
scared.
forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run.
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards
She's
the
so
tunnel
big.
entrance.
I'm scared.
So near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess
scared.
is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Just give it a stalker.
Good.
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once
gonna
within
close.
your grasp and infinitely distant.
It's gonna close, I know.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same?
I'm scared.
Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. Glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
What?
Do it. These.
Why would I say that? That's so crazy. That would set me up. You falling right into my trap. Come on now.
You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on. Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left now.
As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg.
Dang.
She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we?
Let's not jinx it.
You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going! We can't stop now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you.
God.
She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us!
Suffocation?
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you.
Thank God.
She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something...
And? Then what happens?
What in the world did I just witness? But you do not have the chance to respond. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where does she go? Should we try and find her?
Nah.
And then...
Nah, we've been here before.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It's like it's mocking us.
Let's just stay still. It is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here.
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Now screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
How? I have no other choice but to approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
Not final. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a world that is empty. It is quiet here. You are at the cabin. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. How can the world have ended if we are talking? I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I know only that they are. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you. but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Okay. So I feel like I only have one option.
I see you have returned to me.
That's all I had.
Days mean nothing in the maw of forever. I never left your side. Everything. Until we meet again.
I wish I could pick a different option.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Oh. I should have killed her.
You're on a path. Does it? While I appreciate, nevertheless, and before you decide causality, it's no unless. You make your way. We're not going to ignore.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna skip through a bunch of this.
The interior of the cabin is almost a blade.
Because I've already...
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it...
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the... She's so... Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. The blade tumbles.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Again. We'll be fine. Don't know what you're hoping to...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me? And yet you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your knife. If killing me was really that important, you'd have a little more gumption, don't you think? So, someone put you up to this, right? And whoever it is, it's probably the same someone who shoved me into this dark pit and chained me to a wall.
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this basement? And if she's so dangerous, how did they manage to trap her? And why have we been left to do their dirty work? Don't give away the game, and don't let her distract you. That's exactly what she wants.
I'm right, aren't I? So who put you up to this?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
She isn't suggesting what she is.
Too long.
Note the She hesitates.
You can...
Again, she offers no.
Oh, have you just...
You know what. You have to. They're large and heavy.
If you don't... That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost... If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything. You attempt... Someone else... Your shout will hit. You try the door. I'll repeat. You make your way back. Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. The knife.
You won't. Again, you cut into her. The blade, she didn't so much as utter a free. How is she so
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have as the princess. Wait, watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a...
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly... Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, but she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ringing in your ears. You fall to your knees. Your bare every blow is as punishing.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry. Everything goes dark, and you die.
That's a different
You're on a path in the woods.
different title.
You're here.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. If he doesn't remember...
You know I can hear. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself. Oh, she will lie.
We might. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever. I agree. If she's rescue her, given the stakes of the situation. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble
This is
altar
also
with a
very
pristine
different.
blade perched on its edge.
What in the world?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without... That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and there's definitely... There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror. So no one... Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
Interesting.
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I have to pick this one.
Please don't. I'd rather the princess kill us again than see how dreadful we are.
I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something, I'm not lying to you. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Oh, that's
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming.
Jesus.
She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that, and yet you did.
She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
Oh.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
You will.
Just do it already. It will feel so much better to do as she says.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I
don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Interesting. Okay, so now she's in my head. Love that.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Oh my goodness. Again? But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It is time to leave.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
This is what we all deserve, isn't it?
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Can I not kill it? Oh.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Oh. Oh, so that's just what it was useless.
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Oh.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. I'm sorry. Words are difficult. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. You're on a path. You're here. You make a warn. She will. We're not going to ignore. The interior of the cab, the blade. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult. door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice.
Who's there?
She said, "Don't it?" Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so focused on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
The blade, don't you dare. It's fine.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against will be. Don't know what you're hoping.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
You can't.
Well...
Her shot. She.
Oh?
You know. Oh, you walk up to the. They're large and heavy.
If you don't... That would be fine.
If we were stuck, you attempt someone. You're shout. You try. You make your way easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. The knife.
You won't. You cut the. She didn't so much. Free from her. How is she so composed after losing an?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't. As the princess Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. You bring the blade down, okay? Though the blade left a.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you, but if we're...
I did not mean for that to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and start over, because that's not what I was trying to do.
Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one.
Well.
But I don't have to tell you that.
You fall to your knees. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter.
I didn't mean to do that. guys, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if I can. Actually, we did a lot today. We experienced a lot of different types of universes in this game that I didn't even imagine was possible, and I absolutely love it. But I must put it to a pause for now and return later on to embark on an adventure where I didn't make a deal with whatever that entity is, just to see what would happen if I just purely didn't kill her. That's the one I want to do, but I think I'll save it for the next time I stream. Um, so for that, on that note, I hope wherever you are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and night. This has been a Learning Calamity. Bye.